dust. Money ain't to us. Broski went and you better fix her up. I just bought a crib to a chick, she got the biggest. And when I saw your sister at with the fishing hook, listen up, I've had to hit the cup. So if I swing my fist, you going in, so wish me luck. Boy, if you ain't talking paper, I'm a I tell Shorty spin around and watch it. Every time I hit the stage, I make it. Yeah. I just pull up to the crib and then I'm right back on that. Been stocked up, I ain't coming home with a full. All you rappers still washed up, I don't push weight, I just pull chicks. She ain't pulling the socks up, when it's half time she get full. Finna leave the boxed up like send it, make a play and I exit. Money boy making London money, spent most of my life on the M6. Yeah, get rich or die trying, no left. Been out here for like 8 years, come from Volkswagen to Bentley's, little what's your run up cash, double back, baby.
Thank you. On a cold night at the foot of the Rockies, EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, Colorado. Tonight on this fine Thursday night, we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the Denver Broncos. Welcome again, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and yes, the rain is falling now, and it is supposed to continue to fall throughout this game. So how do you think that will impact this contest?
Well, first and foremost, both quarterbacks are going to make sure the officials have those dry footballs coming in each and every play and standing over them sometimes with a towel before the center gets up there to snap it. Second thing is the focus of all the guys who handle the football. Do they wear gloves? Do they take them off? Will they carry the ball high and tight to make sure they have good ball security? That's paramount in a game like this.
Oh, able to avoid him. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. As we get a peek at their dynamic signal caller hailing from Mississippi State, it's Dak Prescott.
And how about the toughness of Dak Prescott? We see it all the time on the field. And remember when he had that serious ankle injury, would he return to form? Boy, did he ever. And he was better than ever, and that's great for the NFL. Terrific resilience, playing at a high level, capable of winning a championship with his arm and his legs.
2nd and 10. Once again, they run with Mixon. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Prescott now. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
And that might have been a situation where even though you don't hit on the deep throw, you at least put in the defender's minds early in the game that we're going to press the ball deep against your secondary. And that can have a ripple effect on how they function throughout.
Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. And Marvin Mims deep for Denver. They'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain night, and it's a good one. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by their signal caller in his 2nd year in the NFL now.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. He's to the 15. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Devon Vele, 83 yards. And the Broncos will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
Will Lutz on for the point after. Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Boy, you go 3 and out on your first drive, and that's not the way you want to start this drive either. Doesn't seem like they're really into it just yet.
No, first 4 plays, you don't want to call it a disaster, but not looking very sharp. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To throw is Prescott. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen here to mix him. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Here's Tommy Townsend now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And they will take over 1st and 10. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one. The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
On the run, this is J.K. Dobbins. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
This now a 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. We often give credit to the O-line there. Two tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Dobbins will struggle to get to the line of scrimmage as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. They'll go again to Dobbins. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
3rd down and goal now, and this Houston defense not backing down. They'll look for one more stop. They'll try to run with Dobbins. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. J.K. Dobbins taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Broncos have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Houston set to take over. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Mixon with a first down carry. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Inside handoff to Mixon. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd down and 8. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. Give him free on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Mixing up the middle. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Alex Singleton, the linebacker, there on the tackle. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Now Prescott. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Prescott to throw it. He'll try and do this himself. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Dak Prescott, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Texans have cut it back within a score.
Hey, you're down on the scoreboard, but now your offense is in close, and this is where, as a quarterback, you say, I've got to make a play here. Doesn't matter whether it's a pinpoint throw or a scramble like this one. He takes matters into his own hands and delivers a touchdown run.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was all capped off by Dak Prescott, keeping it and taking it in on the touchdown run. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Up to midfield. And he'll go out of bounds all the way down inside the 35.
I know the special teams coach will not permit himself a smile here, but inside, he's glowing. This is what he practices for. This is what he schemes. This is what he watches tape to put himself and his team in a position to score points. An absolute dream return.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. That was Will Anderson getting home and finishing the play.
In every game, we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. 2nd and 15. To the right side, he's got Velo. Gave a glimpse of his power that time. And then brought down at the 30.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He'll try and do this himself. And he will have the first down at about the 21-yard line. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. That'll give him 8 that time, and that'll bring up a second down in just a couple. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Second and a couple. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. J.K. Dobbins as the first half is winding down. And the Broncos would extend their lead here just before halftime. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. It's good, and it is now 21-7. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Braxton Berrios now from his end zone. A little juke. Well, now how about this return? And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Final play of the half, Prescott. Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So halftime is upon us on Thursday night primetime, and we go off to Orlando. And Scott Hansen for our halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick halftime report. We'll let both sides catch their breath and get their orange wedges as we're going to get ready for the third quarter action. So let's go back out to the stadium as we rejoin our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scott, thank you. The rain, maybe not quite as heavy as it was earlier, but still coming down pretty good as we prepare for the second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
And they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half. And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
A give up the middle to Dobbins. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. 44 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Now Dobbins again on second down. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Tackled by the cornerback, Derek Stingley.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there.
And the pass is intercepted. He was looking for Ingram. And the Texans are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the third quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
Looking to put a drive together. Following the interception, here's Prescott. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game and the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. Third quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. Nixon will try the right side. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Well, this is where the mile-high air really starts to affect an opposing offense. Guys moving a bit slowly here. It's 3rd and long. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So the Broncos coming out now. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on from this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
From the 31, here comes 2nd and a yard. They'll try the draw here with Dobbins. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And Dobbins, he is not going to get there. They stop him short of the line to gain. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on 1st down. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. Just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
4th quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Primetime. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. From the gun again to Mixon. And he'll be down close to the 1st down marker as he gets this to the Broncos' 43-yard line. 40 yards rushing for him now to this point. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Here's Prescott. That's complete to Dell. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Now Prescott. And he is caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Nico Collins. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. And we may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And, partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
So this drive spans 7 plays. And it was Nico Collins who finished it off with a touchdown reception. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a 1-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws, and find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for first and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. The coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. Now the Texans will use one of their two remaining timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's first and 10. Another run here with Dobbins. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter.
Y'all gotta pop my taste. Y'all can't talk about basic. We might as well.
A handoff running left is Dobbins. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's second and 11. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And they'll find Sutton on the right side complete. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he is going to have the Broncos first, and that should be the capper.
13 yards on the play. That's good for Broncos. First down. First and goal at the 5.
That was big. Needed a few yards to pick up the first. Slim lead here in the fourth quarter, and they turn to the big fella, the fullback, to get it done.
And you know, as my partner, you know I'm old school, right? You know I love those mastodons that carried the ball way back in the day that were a key part of the offense. And now, when they need them, when they need those key yards, those tough grind-them-out yards, the fullback's going to get the ball. Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So this one will wind up a Denver victory, and it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Denver.